The Galactic Concord was a collection of the most advanced and enlightened species in the known universe. A civilization built on reason, diplomacy, and paperwork. When the humans finally stumbled onto the interstellar stage, they were greeted with cautious optimism. The first meeting between humanity and the Galactic Council took place on the neutral world of Zal 3. Everything went smoothly, until it didn't. The humans, represented by Ambassador Richard Calloway, had been asked to present humanity's official policy towards intergalactic relations. Instead of a neatly summarized doctrine like the Council expected, Calloway handed over what he called the Intergalactic Standard Agreement of Conduct and Cooperation, or ISAC. It was a document spanning approximately 12,476 pages.
What is this?
High Chancellor Vakar of the Zelf Dominion asked, holding up a single volume of the multi-box delivery. Oh, that's our standard intergovernmental treaty format. Don't worry, that's just the summary. The full one is on the flash drive. It has hyperlinks, Calloway beamed. The Galactic Council, accustomed to treaties no longer than a single page, was utterly horrified. The Zelf, known for their strict adherence to efficiency, assumed that such a vast document must contain hidden clauses of war, subjugation, or worse, clauses that humanity was being extremely clever about hiding. Their anxiety increased when they attempted to read it. The first sentence of ISAC contained 17 subsections, 3 legal definitions, and an appendix reference. The second sentence referred back to the first sentence, in a recursive loop that forced 2 AI translators into existential crisis. The Kratak of the Mercantile Confederation immediately began hiring a team of 400 lawyers to decipher its implications. The Kratak lawyers began drinking heavily. One of them attempted to defect to humanity, claiming Stockholm Syndrome. The panic escalated when humanity started amending their own document. Upon hearing that the Galactic Council was struggling to understand ISAC, Calloway helpfully provided a second document, the Simplified Guide to ISAC, a human-friendly overview. It was only 7,892 pages. The Zelf declared war preparations a logical necessity. The situation deteriorated even further when humans were asked about their military capabilities. Captain Sarah Park of the Terran Defense Fleet, who was the highest-ranking military officer present at the negotiations, gave an offhand response. Well, we followed the doctrine of MAD.
Mad?
The representatives asked. Yes, mutually assured destruction. The idea is that if we ever get into a real fight, everyone just dies, so no one actually fights. It's been working pretty well so far. What followed was an emergency session of the Galactic Council, during which several members attempted to flee to uncharted space, convinced that humanity had just casually admitted to an ominous suicidal death pact. Then came the food incident. As a gesture of goodwill, humanity gifted the Galactic Council a selection of Earth's finest delicacies. This included items like honey-roasted peanuts, fermented shark, and the notoriously powerful ghost pepper.
Wait, you eat this?
The gentle, photosynthetic Palan ambassador asked, eyeing a peanut as if it were a landmine. Of course, Calloway said cheerfully. Oh, be careful with that one though. Pete from accounting has a peanut allergy, and he nearly died last week.
And you still eat them?
The ambassador stammered. Well, yeah. Pete just brings his EpiPen. Anyway, you should try the ghost pepper. It's spicy, but really flavorful. The Palan ambassador attempted to process the idea that humans voluntarily consume things that could kill them. The attempt was unsuccessful. One unfortunate self-delegate attempted ghost pepper. He was last seen sprinting and diving headfirst into a diplomatic fountain, his exoskeleton sweating profusely, muttering about the spice apocalypse. Emergency medical staff had to sedate him. Another diplomat from the cybernetic Talrek, after trying fermented shark, began screaming in binary. It took the council 3 hours to reboot him. The final straw came when a well-meaning human scientist introduced the Council to humanity's proudest achievement: bureaucracy.
Your system seems pretty inefficient,
said Dr. Linda Thompson, a policy expert.
We notice you don't have a proper queuing system for intergalactic requests, so we took the liberty of drafting a new framework for your administration.
She handed over a document titled Unified Bureaucratic Operations and Governance Guidelines, UBOG, 34,927 pages long. It was formatted in triplicate, required 5 distinct forms to access, and introduced the concept of permits for permits. By the time the Galactic Council attempted to classify humanity as a Class 5 crisis species, things had gone completely off the rails. The Kratak, upon learning that humans regularly sent their young to training facilities called schools, where they were subjected to years of mental endurance exercises, standardized tests, and most terrifyingly, group projects, began treating them as a warrior race. The final catastrophe came when humanity, in an attempt to smooth things over, invited the Council to an Earth holiday celebration. Unfortunately, to help increase trade, the chosen event was Black Friday. The delegates watched in frozen horror as civilized humans, supposedly bound by rules and social norms, transformed into a rampaging mob over discounted televisions and plastic knickknacks. A Zelf observer attempted to intervene and was promptly trampled by an elderly woman wielding a toaster. Then, in an effort to better understand humanity, the Galactic Council requested cultural examples of human recreation. What they received shattered them. Skydiving, base jumping, volcano surfing. The concept of extreme sports was immediately classified as a human-only phenomenon, and any alien caught attempting one would be deemed legally insane. Their confusion worsened when they discovered reality TV. The sheer chaos of The Bachelor, Survivor, and Naked and Afraid led the Council to conclude that humanity engaged in elaborate psychological torture for entertainment. In an act of desperate diplomacy, the Zelf Chancellor finally demanded, "Ambassador Calloway, are you trying to intimidate us?" Calloway, looking genuinely confused, replied, "What? No, we're just doing what we always do." And that was the moment the Galactic Council realized the terrifying truth. Humanity wasn't trying to scare them. Humanity as a species was just batshit crazy.